How to prepare for IELTS. Okay, obviously do this course and take notes as we go along. I'm going to be giving you and detailing to you a lot of information that I think is really useful in order for you to improve and get the mark that you need in IELTS. One of the first things I recommend is preparation. You need to schedule in preparation time in order to improve your English and get a better result in your IELTS. There's no point in booking your IELTS exam if you're not scheduling in consistent daily practice of your English. In fact, we have a saying in the English language that failing to plan is planning to fail. So make sure you are really well prepared before you go and do your IELTS exam. Make sure you do your IELTS exam at a time when you're confident. Okay, you need to schedule in your practice and do your exam when you're feeling like you're absolutely ready to go. Okay, now learn some of these tips that I'm telling you to deal with answering different types of questions in your IELTS exam. You're going to need to be aware of the common themes and topics and vocabularies that will be assessed during your IELTS exam. One of the best ways in order to more generally improve your English and being familiar with the English language, I think, is by familiarizing yourself with that language. And one of the best ways to do that is to watch English television. So I strongly suggest to some of you that are interested to follow documentaries, to listen and watch the BBC television and radio series. Read more academic style journals from such sources as The New Scientist. Another great tip that I believe can really help your speaking is by speaking to yourself. That can really help you because not only are you engaging your mouth, but you're also engaging your other sense of your hearing. So the two connect, and the more you speak to yourself, the quicker you're going to be able to memorize things. This will also assist you in your pronunciation practice. One of the absolute key things to improving your speaking and your listening and your comprehension of any language, particularly the English language, is to practice with a native speaker. If you can find a local partner that speaks English as their native mother tongue, you are in a great position to improve very quickly. Okay, one of the best things I ever did in order to improve my Chinese and my pronunciation to get it to the level I got it to was to practice and to copy my friends. Okay, I spent a lot of time hanging out with my friends, asking questions, writing things down, taking notes, and basically creating a little notebook of words, sentences, and vocabulary that I wanted to incorporate in my daily language. Textbooks are definitely very helpful in assisting you with your grammar and your comprehension of questioning and all of that, but don't rely on them, okay? I think we all can understand that the things that you learn from a textbook aren't always going to be the things that are going to be spoken in real day life when you're talking about a native language. So that's something to really keep in mind. Textbooks are great, but they're often quite formal and they don't mimic real life situations. Make sure that you're very familiar with reading and writing. There's no point in doing the IELTS exam if you're a great speaker in the language, but you fall down in reading and writing, okay? Likewise, if you're really great at listening, but you're not comfortable at coming up with speaking sentences, that's going to be a big problem for you. So make sure you fill in the gaps as you go. Make sure, as I said, you're consistent, you're practicing daily, and you're giving equal amount of time to the different areas, the 4 areas: listening, writing, speaking, and reading. Okay, that's going to ensure that there's evenness in your IELTS preparation. Make sure that you practice your speed. I know that when I'm practicing Chinese, when I start out learning a sentence, it's very, very slow. But I'm always frequently very surprised at how quickly I can improve the speed at which I say those sentences. All that comes down to is practice and exposure, okay? Now, I'm going to be helping you a lot with the pronunciation side of English. I feel like that's something that is really important, and obviously you're going to be getting marks for that as well. I know that pronunciation is incredibly important in the Chinese language. And if you're a Chinese speaker trying to speak English, a lot of you find it very difficult to pronounce a lot of words. Okay, I'm going to help you with that. But 10 minutes of pronunciation practice every day will go a long way in helping you get a better score, getting the mark you need in order to work abroad or to study abroad at that university that you've always wanted to study at. Okay, make sure you get a copy of the official IELTS practice materials. We're going to provide a link for you down below. So make sure you use that, make sure you practice with those materials. This will make you feel more comfortable when you're actually doing your exam, and you won't feel as stressed out or as worried about the layout, where to write things, how to fill out the forms, okay, how to answer the questions. You will know all that, you will be very familiar with that. Okay, so follow those tips and you're bound to do a lot better in your IELTS exam.